Let's move on to the next panelist today, Mr. Sanjeev Narayan, on to my right side. He's a leading industrialist with over 35 years of industry experience, particularly in the electronics industry. He's recognized for his professional excellence, his business expertise. In 1990, he launched SDS Techniques for providing electronic manufacturing services. He's based in Gurgaon. He's been a past president of ELSINA, which is Industry Association, and also he's electronics engineer from IIT Delhi and an MBA from Delhi again. Mr. Sanjeev Narayan.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think a lot
Sanjeev is checking on how good our lunch was. Please respond.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Thank you.
You know, being the last speaker in a session has a lot of merit because most of the things have already been said. But since we have such a great audience here, I will still share some of my thoughts on the Esdm space. Before I get specifically into the Esdm sector, whenever we are looking at growth in any segment, and in our case the Esdm area, we need investments. Here we have to compete with alternate destinations because an investor has enough options available. If we have to do that, let us look at what is being competitive. How is this measured? I'll just take a few minutes to do that before I get on to specifically the Esdm sector. There is a very well developed global competitive index. This is put out every year by the World Economic Forum. The interesting thing in this, if you see, India as a country has dropped from 56 to 59 and then on to 60. This is a matter of concern. When I then looked at what is the basis on which they calculate, you will find that 60% of the weightage is on basic factors, which is the macroeconomic requirement, infrastructure, government institutions, etc., etc. And this accounts for 60% weightage. 35% weightage is given to efficiency enhancers, such as higher education, market efficiencies, financial, labor, etc. This also includes the market size. And 5% weightage is given to innovation and business sophistication. Fortunately for us, the government is already seized of this situation and knows if they have to bring in a lot of FDI, they have to reverse this trend. They have a committee which has been set up and they are looking into how to take this forward. I'll really skip the next slide. This is basically saying that, ease of doing business in India and what the issues are in terms of changing policies, corruption, etc., in this. Now when I look at the Esdm sector, we've talked enough about what is happening in terms of them. There is a very large growing market. There's no point in discussing what the figures are, it really doesn't matter. What is important is that fortunately in the Esdm sector, we already have a policy environment which has been made to offset a lot of the disabilities. So it's already in position, and what we really need now is simplification and speed of implementation on these policies, and that's what we need to focus on in the Iesa and the other associations that exist in the country. Here also get the disbursement guidelines released as soon as possible. An important element in the development of the Esdm sector is to get a priority sector status for the electronic industry as far as the banking sector is concerned. See, the government has declared that they would like, and they have accepted the fact that electronic manufacturing is a national priority. That priority has to be shared with the other wings of the government. And we definitely need two things: availability of finance as well as a subvention of interest charges, which is part of the overall policy, but it has not been implemented down the line. When we look at the local infrastructure, we've heard speakers all through the 2 days that supply chain is a major challenge. It is. The component availability is a problem. I think most of you people would be aware of the fact that the reason of this problem is because of the major policy problems that we have faced in the last 10 years. There was a vibrant component industries in the 90s. Over a period of time, it's come down. But let's not dwell on this. Let us see what we can do. The good news, of course, is that we have major investments in the wafer fab that have come forward, and I think we must compliment IESA for the efforts they have made to make that possible.